Do you feel like that's still the case of like, if you want to be a minority in comedy, you kind of have to write your own shit? Phoebe Waller-Bridge, right? Another one where it was like,
Oh, 1000%. Because our structures are still run by straight white male culture. Whether it's those individuals or not, it's still the power structures.
You worked on The Problem with Daddy Jon Stewart. God love Jon Stewart. Daddy. It was noted in, I think, interviews about the hiring process that there was a lot of intentionality when it came to hiring writers. Can you talk about that? Shed some light on that?
I would love to. It's one of the things I'm most proud of from my work on that show. So when my very first job in television was from Jon Stewart, from a blind packet submission, and it's probably the only way I got it.
Wait, did you say a blind packet submission?
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
can you explain to people what that is?
Yeah. So blind submissions are when your name and information is removed from the packet. So all they read is a packet. Then after that, they find out who you are. Because as you know, and I'm sure you've spoken about, there's scientific tests out there that even just reading the name, Mary Smith on a packet, puts certain readers into
right.
I'm not or if it seems like an ethnic name to them, things like that.
Right.
And so blind submissions are really the way to go, and most people don't do it. And Jon was telling me, he was like, it's so frustrating. I ask agents and managers for more women, more people who are not fully white, more people who are not just white, just straight, I asked them for this. He was like, and they never send it. And he was like, the tributaries are broken. Like the system, like way before it ever gets to hiring, it's already been too, what's the word? It's been too, all the isms. Like we've cut.
Yeah, sure.
We've cut anyone who could possibly be a minority out of the process. So
he's over there asking and not receiving.
Because they don't have them, because they haven't signed them as clients.
Right.
Because they have all the same biases.
It's like somebody being like, I want to work with a woman director. And it's like, yeah, there's like 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've only allowed 2 to work, so, and they're busy.
Oh, of course. There's way more out there. But like, what is it? There's still, I think there's only been 2 women nominated, 3 maybe in the history of the Academy Awards for Best Director.
Absolutely.
Like,
and
it's been nuts.
It's broken from the bottom. It's not like, the Academy is broken. It is. But everything before that
women
is broken.
women don't make good directors. Like, of course, that's not it.
Oh my God. Well, so when Jon hired me as his head writer, one of the things I was most excited about was how we were going to do the hiring process. Because I've been a late night writer on other shows, and I've always been like, why is it not done this way? And so I finally got to do it, which is that. I'll take you through all the steps. You can cut them if they're boring, Tori.
Nope, we love it.
So first, it was a blind packet submission. But secondly, it was only a single page long, because a lot of these packet submissions are requesting 7 to 11 pages of not only full research, but full writing.
Much.
So much.
Okay, I want to go back even further. Great. How are you the person who gets to submit?
Well, that's the other thing. So you usually have to have an agent or manager. So you already have to be repped, which is why the pool skews so male and white, because they're the ones who have, they're repped the most. And even though they think like, oh, you can't be a white man in comedy, it's still 90% them. Yeah. It's just like 10% changed, and they're like, oh my God. So you have to have a rep. So the first thing I did is that I took that away. So on the packet submissions, I said you have to self-submit, because in the past, if they left an email address open, you'd be like, ooh, can I sneak in and submit my packet for this show? And maybe they won't know I don't have an agent, but then you're also like, did I just do 10 pages of writing and work for nothing, and it got thrown away? So I said, it's self-submit only. Here is the email address. We won't accept it from an agent or manager. It has to come from you. Then I said it's 1 page long, so that, because I was always like working a million jobs. And so it's like, when are you supposed to do all this work for free?
What is that 1 page? Are you answering, is it the SAT essay prompt? Like, what are you answering?
No, so it's 1 page of monologue jokes. And that's because those are the hardest things to write, because
they're so hard.
Yeah, it's the corniest, oldest form. Everything's hack. So if you can be interesting and make a funny joke, like you're a really good writer. Secondly, you only get 2 sentences for it. So if you're going to 5 sentences, like it's already a bad joke. Like it's got to be a short, punchy joke. And it shows do you know structure? And if you can structure a good monologue joke, you can structure a good sketch. And so it's a really good, because on the other end, this is the monetary problem. In order to take in a lot of packets from a lot of people, me, the head writer, my staff who's blinding them, signing the legal releases, putting it in the process, they have to have the hours to do that. And so making it 1 page, what meant I read 2,400 packets.
Yeah. Chelsea.
Yes, I did, because I
How
opened
long
it
did
up.
that take you? God, that had to have been so long. Did you read every single one that got submitted?
I read every single one. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I know
that's
the
something
pain
that
of not being
no
read.
Yeah. No, but and I want, that's so amazing, but also no one deserves a cookie for doing that. That should be what happens,
Totally.
But I'm also take the cookies because that's amazing.
Yeah, but it's also the thing of you got to have the will, you have to have the hours. When you're in production, when do you have time to do it? You have to I had Jon's full support to make sure I had, it was basically a 1 or 2 week, I think it was a 2-week process of all of them coming in, reading all of them, whittling them down. Also Jon read them, people on staff read them, but I was I'm going to make sure I'm not going to split it up. I'm going to make it to every single one. And it's really, if you can't write 1 great monologue joke at the top of your packet, there's no way you wrote 10. You know what I mean? You can read 1 joke. If it's horrible, the second joke is horrible, the third joke is horrible. It's an easy read. And I will say it's very hard, to do 10 banger jokes. You have to be an incredible writer.
Yeah.
And we gave them basically a 24 hours / a weekend to do this, so that nothing could be evergreen. I said it had to be topical, so it can't be stuff you have in your back pocket. I also set it on a holiday, to sort of as a trick. So it's how many President's Day jokes were we going to get? How many, who can be innovative? And if I have 1,000 President's Day jokes, who wrote the one that stands out?
Yeah.
And so that's how we did it. And I sent it through comedy channels, and I said, pass it to everyone who would want this job. And then it went around on Twitter. It was posted on Reddit. We had international people apply, and blindly we read them all, narrowed it down to a second round of between 30 and 40. And then that round did a second, much harder packet, and it was narrowed down to the final 7 writers that we hired.
We can cut this if you don't remember. Do you have a favorite joke from those submissions? Do you remember?
I do.
Oh, can you tell me?
Let me think if I can. I want to say it so that
do it justice. Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it justice. I only remember, and it's funny because we hired that writer. They and I will say my favorite joke, totally different from Jon's favorite joke, totally different from our producer Katie's favorite joke, which is again why you need diverse readers. You can't just have the same white straight dude reading all the packets. They'll all have the same favorite Batman joke. You know what I mean? You need different ages, you need different races, sexes, and luckily we had that. All of our top line people, we had a variety of readers, so that it wasn't just one type of comedy getting through. It was a joke. God, I can't do it. I can't remember the wording, so I'm not doing it justice, but it was a joke about Eminem losing his battle to demons. And I it was something dude, you've lost the battle. Something like that. But it was from our writer, Rob Christensen. And it was just really out of the box, and
very funny.
Made me laugh very hard, and specifically hit a style of humor you don't often see in late night political comedy.
Yeah.
And I will say this, I started to get, when this process was going, I had this text thread of other female showrunners, and I was like, you guys, what if first of all, it went viral. So it goes viral. And at this point, I'm like, oh, everyone's watching to see what happens. What if this experiment turns out 7 white dudes from Harvard?
Right.
Cis men.
Who are all the lampoon. They all did the lampoon.
It was the correct process the whole time. We never needed to change anything. And I was like, because it was fucking blind. I was like, this might happen to me. And here's what makes me so, I'm so happy to say this, but not every there's so many categories of diversity, but we had age diversity, we had race diversity, we had sexual preference diversity, we had working moms, we had military vets, we had it was people from all over the country, people from the Midwest, the South, the Southwest, California, New York. We had upper class, we had lower class. It was like, oh my God, it truly is like when you open the doors, talent rises and talent just comes from everywhere. It just does. And the fact that we think it only comes from a certain type of person, as we know, is just such a lie.